You picked up your phone before you even got out of bed this morning. And before that thought even finished forming, you were already scrolling. No decision, no intention, just automatic. What if I told you that this single habit is quietly rewiring your brain, changing the way you think, feel, and experience reality itself? Stay with me, because what neuroscience has discovered about your brain and constant stimulation will change the way you see every screen in your life. For 99% of human history, the world was quiet. Our ancestors woke to silence. They waited. They hunted. They sat with their thoughts for hours, sometimes days, without a single external stimulus demanding their attention. That was the world your brain was built for. Now consider what it faces today. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day. They consume more information in a single morning than a medieval scholar encountered in an entire year. And the notifications, the alerts, the infinite scroll, they never stop. Your brain hasn't changed, but your world has, beyond anything evolution could have prepared it for, and something is breaking. Today, we're going to explore exactly what constant stimulation is doing to your brain, and more importantly, what you can do to take it back. Deep inside your brain lies a network of structures that scientists call the dopaminergic system. Its job is simple and ancient. It releases a chemical called dopamine whenever you do something that helps you survive. Food, connection, discovery. Your brain rewards these behaviors to make sure you repeat them. For hundreds of thousands of years, this system worked perfectly. Then came the smartphone. Every notification, every like, every new post. Each one triggers a small but real dopamine release, the same chemical signal your brain uses for food and human connection. And because these rewards come fast, unpredictably, and endlessly, your dopaminergic system goes into overdrive. Neuroscientist Anna Lembke of Stanford University calls this a dopamine overload. When dopamine spikes too often, your brain does something remarkable and devastating. It reduces the number of dopamine receptors to compensate, meaning the same stimulus produces less and less pleasure over time. You need more, always more. The result? Real life, with its slower, subtler rewards, begins to feel flat, boring, unsatisfying, not because life has changed, but because your brain has. In 2004, researchers at the University of California measured how long people focused on a single screen before switching tasks. The average was 2.5 minutes. By 2012, it had dropped to 75 seconds. By 2020, just 47 seconds. 47 seconds. That is now the average human attention span on a single task. And here's what makes this truly alarming. It's not just about distraction. It's about the architecture of your thinking itself. Deep focus, the kind required to read a book, solve a complex problem, or have a meaningful conversation, depends on a brain network called the default mode network. This network needs silence and stillness to activate. It's where your best ideas come from, where empathy is born, where you process who you are. Constant stimulation keeps this network permanently switched off. You are not just losing focus. You are losing access to the deepest, most human parts of your own mind. And here is what makes it worse. The default mode network needs at least 8 to 12 minutes of uninterrupted silence to fully activate. Most people never give it that long. Every time your phone buzzes, even if you don't look at it, your brain registers it as an interruption. And interruptions trigger a stress response. Your body releases a small amount of cortisol, the hormone associated with danger and survival. In short bursts, cortisol is healthy. It sharpens your focus and gets you moving. But when the interruptions never stop, the cortisol never stops either. Research from the University of California, Irvine found that people who are constantly interrupted show cortisol levels similar to those in high-stress emergency situations, even when they're simply sitting at a desk. Over time, chronic cortisol exposure damages the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for memory and learning. It weakens the prefrontal cortex, the seat of rational decision-making, and it keeps your amygdala, your brain's alarm system, permanently activated. You are not stressed because your life is hard. You are stressed because your brain has been trained to expect an interruption every 47 seconds. And when one doesn't come, it starts looking for one. There is a mode of thinking that has produced every great work of art, science, and philosophy in human history. Psychologists call it slow thinking. Neuroscientists call it default mode activation. Ancient philosophers simply called it contemplation. It requires one thing above all else: boredom. Not the anxious, scrolling kind of boredom we reach for our phones to escape. True boredom. Empty time. Silence. It is in these moments that your brain stops reacting and starts creating. It connects distant ideas. It processes unresolved emotions. It asks questions that don't have easy answers. Albert Einstein famously spent hours sailing alone in silence, not to relax, but because he said it was where his best thinking happened. Newton discovered gravity during a period of enforced isolation. Darwin spent years walking the same quiet path around his garden, thinking. These were not unproductive moments. They were the most productive moments in human history, and we have engineered them out of our lives entirely. Every empty moment, in the elevator, at the traffic light, waiting for coffee, we fill with stimulation. And in doing so, we have quietly eliminated the mental space where our greatest ideas once lived. Here is the good news. Your brain is not broken. It is plastic, meaning it can change, adapt, and rebuild itself. The same neuroplasticity that allowed overstimulation to rewire your attention can rewire it back, but it requires intention. The first step is a dopamine detox. Choose 1 day per week to remove all digital stimulation. Within 24 to 48 hours, food tastes better. Music sounds richer. Life feels more meaningful. The second step is to protect your mornings. Before you touch your phone, give your brain 20 minutes of silence. This single habit improves creativity and focus for the entire day. The third step is simple. Let yourself be bored. Sit with the discomfort. Let your default mode network do its work. Your brain built civilization. It can handle 47 seconds of silence. The most radical thing you can do in the modern world is nothing. To sit, to wait, to resist the pull of the screen and stay with the quiet discomfort of your own mind. Because on the other side of that discomfort is something extraordinary. Clarity, creativity, the slow, deep kind of thinking that built everything you've ever admired. Your brain is not the problem. The environment we've built around it is. And environments can be changed. You now know what constant stimulation is doing to your brain. You know the mechanisms, the dopamine, the cortisol, the fractured attention, the silenced default mode network. Knowledge, as always, is where freedom begins. And at OMNIA, that is exactly what we are here to give you. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe, because next time we will go deeper.